Alright, so if you guys kept with us, we watched Iron Man last time, and then I was...
Iron Man.
I'm excited. It's a great movie. It's so good.
I did that ugly laugh that you talked about yesterday.
The show previously, I am making Stella watch the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, but in turn, she's watching 23 Marvel Cinematic Universe films, and I have to watch 23 of the films that she's chosen. So that will be right after this video, but today we're moving on to the second Marvel Cinematic Universe film, also released in 2008, The Incredible Hulk. This was made in cooperation with Universal because I think they were still... I think they owned the rights to Hulk still. I'm not really sure about that whole, lingo. Something happened somewhere. I don't know if they own the rights to Hulk yet or not, but someone better than me at that stuff should know. But in any case, they made the Hulk movie because they wanted him to be included in the Avengers, and somehow they made this whole plan work out with Universal, who owned the rights to Hulk, because there was previously a film only in 2003. It was 5 years later, pretty soon to reboot the character, but the first movie wasn't to fan expectations, and a lot of people weren't really jazzing with it. I still don't really like it too much. It's gotten a bit of a cult following since then, but not too much. So they rebooted it in a way. The opening credits are sort of exactly just what happens in the first movie, and then the second movie is pretty much a reboot of the ending of Hulk, but extended, and a lot of things were changed, and there's different villains, different actors too, because they wanted this to be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, Hulk, The Incredible Hulk, 2008. What did you think of it?
Not good.
Yeah.
I really just wanted to go to sleep. I did not want to watch it.
Are you saying you would have liked it more if we would have just gone to bed?
Yes.
Wait, you would have liked it more if we watched it at a different time of day? That's what I was asking.
You said, would I liked it more if I would have gone to bed?
Oh, no, I meant like if we watched it at a different time.
No, I would have liked it more if I could sleep and not watch it.
Not watch it at all.
I really like the Hulk. I don't know why. I've never really watched Hulk stuff, but I wanted to like it, and I was very bored very early on.
Did you like the Hulk show back in the 80s, when you were a young scamp in the 80s?
When I was alive in the 80s, yes. Loved it.
Have you ever seen any of it, actually?
I probably have. I don't know why. I must have seen something Hulk.
There's a lot of reruns of it.
I like it.
Yeah, and
but I don't know what I've seen.
He's got the TV show. He had the original movie you might have seen, and he's definitely been in cartoons. I'm not sure if you've seen those, but he's around. I mean, people really...
He's around.
I mean, well, people know about him because he's very similar to a lot of characters like that. It's the Jekyll and Hyde thing, which is very similar to, the monster character that shows up in a lot of, especially, romance, supernatural stuff, like Phantom of the Opera, or, Beauty and the Beast, stuff like that. Hulk is...
I love that so much.
Yeah, Hulk is sort of like that in a way, because he also is a two-thing persona. He's the monster, but he's also the man. He does have a relationship, in this movie anyway.
So Beauty and the Beast and Phantom of the Opera do not have a choice to switch it on and off.
No,
They're
I know.
just permanently like that.
I wasn't saying it's completely...
Don't compare that trash.
I'm comparing the character you just said you liked.
Not this one.
Okay. I meant the character in general. I was trying to figure out why you liked him. But apparently, Beauty and Beast is way better. I understand that.
Not compare.
Not comparing them.
Anything.
I don't know. This is a weird one. Because I've never...
I straight up have nothing to say. Sorry.
I've seen this movie...
It's going to be 2 seconds long.
I've seen this movie at least 3 times. And
I watched it 2 weeks ago. 1 week ago. 2 weeks?
I don't even know.
I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything.
It's awful. The problem is, I think, that... One, they didn't really have a formula yet, so they didn't really know what to base things upon as far as just MCU standards go, and also Iron Man had only come out that year, so they couldn't really base things on that movie's success, which if you go from that movie to this movie, wildly different tones, which is good because you want there to be different tones and stories in the franchise, but also it's just, the problem is it's just not a very good script or pacing or even like the character. I don't know how you make a good Hulk movie. I really don't, because they've tried twice. Both times it's not done well.
Yeah, but they got a good Hulk now, so why don't they try again?
Well, that's a good point. But the issue, I think, still is I
will make the Hulk movie.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Thanks.
Because even though you don't know where your love for Hulk comes from.
It's there. I don't know why.
I think it's possible to make a good movie, but I don't know. They've had such weird issues with it, and it doesn't seem like they're trying to even make a new one anytime soon. And I don't know if that's a rights issue or if it's just because the other movies didn't make too much money, so they're like, we really don't even want to try to do it again.
Why is it that they're having so much issues with Hulk? Maybe they just have bad writers.
Well, I think so. Well, I think that's a big problem because, I mean, if you want, as like a comparison, Thor, his movies weren't that very good either until they had a different director, different creative person entirely work on the third movie and pretty much revitalize that character and made him a lot better. And generally audiences like that version of the character much more than what was previously done.
Like because his hair is cut.
Yeah, that's what fixed it. So, I mean, like, Taika Waititi, I mean, if you gave him Hulk, maybe he could do it. But also, I don't know if someone's looking for something that style for the Hulk. I just don't really know what people want. But I also don't know what I want. I like when he's the side character, and I like Mark Ruffalo. I don't know if he could make an entire movie work, because in the end, I mean, the idea of the character is kind of depressing, especially for a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Because it's not meant to be like, superheroes are meant to be like blockbuster crowd pleasers.
In that, I almost said Amazon. Woof, I'm tired. Avengers movie. He's very depressing in that.
Yeah.
Makes me sad.
But he works so much better with the whole crew, and he's also, I think, a better choice to play the Hulk. I don't know if Edward Norton really was as much. What did you think of Edward Norton in the role? That's pretty much it.
Same way I felt about the whole movie.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's boring.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have nothing to say.
We'll fight through it. He's not very memorable is the problem.
No.
And he kind of mixes in with a lot of his other roles because Edward Norton isn't someone who's done superhero movies. He's mostly known for doing indie stuff, and he's shown up in a lot of different movies. So just doing a movie like this, it just kind of feels like another one of his roles rather than, Edward Norton as the Hulk and he's been in other movies. No, it's like this is just another one of his movies. It doesn't feel special. And I guess I've heard that there were production issues with the movie, especially with the writing and the directing and the finished product, and there's a reason like Edward Norton's not involved with the Avengers because I heard he was trying to take over the production of this movie, and
he should have maybe been better.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, he did that with American History X, and granted, that movie's actually good, but the director's never been very happy with the finished product, weirdly enough. So I don't know. This one's just a weird one to tackle because I always kind of forget it's part of the franchise because it has very few connections to the rest of the series. It's got a different actor. None of the actors in this movie have returned except for General Ross, who's the old guy who's going after him throughout the whole movie.
What's his name?
General Ross, that's his name.
No, his real name.
William Hurt.
I thought you were
Bill?
talking about him.
He's in Thor.
That's why I said the Thor guy.
Yeah, he comes back. I'm not talking about...
I know now, but who are you talking about?
I'm talking about William
back?
Ross, who is
that?
General Ross. He's like the evil guy in this movie. He's like the general. You don't remember him because we don't remember the movie.
I said, what movie does he come back
He's in... Oh my god, he comes back way later. I was going to say that, but you're going off about something else. And I'm like, let me say it. But instead now you're talking about Bill, and Bill wasn't in Incredible Hulk. No.
That's who you're talking about.
No, he's in Hulk. He's not
They're
in
both
this one.
shitty movies. I'm getting them confused.
Yikes. He shows up in Captain America Civil War. So that's like way later. That's like several movies later. That's like an entire... He skipped a phase. He was only in the third phase then. So, yeah, he's the only one that comes back. And granted, he's... Yeah, I like him, especially when he shows up in the other movies. But even in this movie, he's not too memorable. They try to add like these other characters to it to give it some levity or to give it some interest, but there's nothing really to this. It's just lame. It's a lame movie. There's not really anything to say about it. I've never liked it. I never liked it as a kid. I don't like it now. It's hard to get into. It's just, it drags. It doesn't really have much going on. And the coolest thing I like about it is the way they made the Hulk move. Because he actually looks like what probably a giant person would be like in real life, because there's always about this thing where they gotta kind of move slowly, but this one was like all about the speed, which is like what Hulk probably is more like. And they bring that back into all the other movies, which is way better. That's one of the things that people praised about the Avengers, was the way Hulk was portrayed and how his how he was brought to life, the way he moved around. And it's like, if you watch this movie, it was already done in this one. The effects aren't as good in this one. They're not bad, but they definitely don't look as good as he looks in the Avengers, and all the other movies have improved with the effects over time. But this one, you can tell, especially compared to Iron Man, because Iron Man I felt like had really good effects. And most of the time that suit he's wearing in Iron Man in the first one is not real. And I feel like it looks better in that one than it does in all the other movies. Because the other movies, still, it's not a real suit, but I feel like the first movie still looks better.
Only you would know. I mean, not only you. I don't notice that stuff. Only you.
Well, that's just from watching it so many times.
No, that's because you watch a lot of movies.
You get like an eye for this, and I don't know if it's the way that they have done the other movies' effects versus how they did the first movies, or if it's just because they had limited special effects at that point, whereas the new ones are so many special effects that you start to see only special effects. So I don't know. But Incredible Hulk, man,
It's rough.
I saw this for Endgame last year, and I think I gave it at the time 5 out of 10 stars. If we're using your scale, it was, because now I brought it down to like 4 out of 10. It's just it's rough.
Yep.
And it gets rougher every time. I feel like I like it less. I should be liking it more, you'd think, but I actually feel I don't really want to watch this ever again.
I won't.
And as the series continues and there's more and more movies, it's giving me less incentive to even go back to this one, because why even waste the time? What do you think of it?
3 out of 10.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
We watched it 2 weeks ago and I already forgot everything. That's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just boring. I have nothing to say.
Better luck next time. This is a quick video, but it's... blech. We both didn't like it. Yeah.
Quick is good.
Well, let's move on to much better movie.
No, that will be a quick video too.
I don't know. I have a lot to say. From Stella's selection for the second movie we'd be watching together, which is
New Moon.
I'm not a Twilight hater. That's cheesy and overdone. I'm going to give it the fair. I'm going to give it
hater.
Fair attention.
Your face said hater.
I'm not a hater.
Hater.
We'll see you in the next video. Thanks to all my Patreon supporters. For only $7, you can get your own monthly movie review. Ask me to review anything I haven't already. There's also other perks like blogs, exclusive videos, and early access. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And thanks so much for watching this video.